Hi, I am Kathy Ann Dixon.
And I'm Arlene Owen.
Welcome to Azar.
We want to welcome you to another episode of Azar. Remember to go call your friend, your neighbor, let them know that we are on. Share, like, and subscribe.
Yes, today we're going to be talking about a sad topic, a topic that people usually shun.
Yeah. But Kathy, and because we experience this in our family, we are unable to do so. We can't shun it, we can't run away from it.
Yeah, because it could hit any and anyone
Yeah.
at any time, as we've seen in the past few months. Celebrities have gone down
Yeah.
under, this what we're going to talk about today.
Yes. And our topic today is on suicide because Kathy, and it's suicide has no respect of persons.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who you are in society, your age, your gender,
Yeah.
your calling.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it hits and come and hit at your home.
Yes, and 2022 was, it was a hard year for, um, you know, out there when it comes to celebrities, because we saw dancers, singers, actors, YouTubers take their own lives,
Yeah.
and you would say, but they have everything. What do they have to? Why would they do such a thing? They have everything, but it's more than that.
It is more than that. It's more than that. And Kathy, and one celebrity that comes to mind immediately, Twitch.
Yeah.
And we all love him so much, and we want to say that we feel the loss,
Yeah.
and but still we cannot imagine how his family is feeling.
Yeah.
And his his suicide really really affected the entire world, I want to say, Kathy, and
Yeah.
because we were all wondering why. And like you said before, you will look at somebody and you will think that they have everything,
Yeah.
but sometimes we do not know what is happening with that person.
Yes, and then he was always laughing and
Yeah.
upbeat and had everybody happy. And then
Yes.
when they realized that something had happened, that he felt there was no hope,
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
would take himself out. The reality of suicide, it hit home.
It did hit home, and it did hit all of us. And Kathy, and suicide is where someone hurt themselves with the intent to die. Some people was able to be actually say help just in time.
Yeah.
So they may have drank something or cut themselves, but they still live, and they were able to get counsel
Yes.
and continue their life. And we want to say we are so happy that these people were able to run the race and stay in the race. But for some, they really, really lost, and they went home.
Yes, we have lost three relatives,
Yeah.
very close relatives, from suicide. And one of them was my own brother.
Yeah.
20 years ago on my birthday, he drank Gramaxone. He was 43 years old, dealing with his own, relationship issues,
Yeah.
a father and husband.
Yes. Kathy, I remember that day when you called and asked me to go quickly to the hospital. And I was telling Kathy, and up to today before this episode, that even right down to his death, he was so nice. He was always a nice, quiet, loving person with a lovely smile, and there's a warmth. Even thinking about him now, I can still feel that warmth you will feel, that love,
Yes.
because he loved his family, he loved his
Yes.
cousins, and you call him out and he will smile immediately.
Yes.
And even when I went there, I felt that, and at that time I did not know that my cousin was hurting
Yes.
to the point to hurt himself.
Yes, and I remember sending Arlene, go, and just remind him that Jesus loves him, and when I reached, she didn't make it. You didn't make it as yet.
I can't
I don't.
remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I chatted with him, and it was something else to really experience it. Seeing the condition of my mother, seeing the family all in tears, it was
Yeah.
so much, So it's a topic that we need to talk about, because it really devastates a family.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And it is sad, Kathy, and it is really, really sad. And I could remember like you said, it took 2 days before he died, and you between that time you are praying and you are hoping,
hoping.
and you can't eat, you can't sleep because you're saying, God, you're crying out for this person.
Yes, and my mother, she wrinkled. She became aged in that 1 week. And I remember on the second day in the morning, she says, Kathy, ain't you going to live? You all would understand the cry of a mother and the wish of a mother's heart. And I says, Mommy, no, he is not going to ban your belly. And that was because I saw him vomit up something, and I'm sure I saw flesh. And it was so traumatic
Yeah.
that I says, I just in my spirit, I said, my brother is going to die.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people do this, they don't understand that it's like a bomb going off, and the shrapnel of the death of the act just goes and digs into
Those close around
in
you, your
close
circle.
proximity,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
many hurt and cry when one person does this
Yeah.
act.
Yeah. And I think at the time, Kathy, and I mean, I'm not sure, what might be going on at the time with the person, but they are not thinking that all the people they're going to hurt.
No,
They
they
are not,
didn't think.
yeah, yeah. And on the spiritual side, we know that the enemy wants to take out people.
Yes.
And there will be some people, you may hear, they say they heard voices that saying, why live?
Yeah.
You are no good.
Yeah.
You are not making any impact. Your family don't love you. Your wife don't love you. Your husband don't love you. Your
Yes.
children don't even care about you. And they are voices.
Yes.
But we want to say to those who may be going through that even right now, before we go in further in the episode, don't listen to those voices. There is hope.
Yes, and but Arlene, there's one thing I found with my brother's death. It took us by surprise, and probably it should not have, because he started to do some things, and I beat up myself after to know why I didn't notice, because he would leave where he's living deep south and come to me in Digo Martin and just sit on my chair and not speak for hours. And I don't want to know why he would do that. And sometimes I would make a little joke and say, boy, how you getting thin, so look how your waist small. I mean, he started to get so thin that when he pulled the belt, it used to pleat. And I was how you getting thin, so look at me, how I big and fat, I want to get slim like you.
And all those were signs. But Catherine, at the time, you didn't know. You didn't have the knowledge.
I
So
didn't.
you didn't. So while at that time you may blame yourself. Looking back now, you didn't know. We didn't have the knowledge. We didn't have all the things that we have now, where we have Google and YouTube and all these things keeping us informed.
Yeah.
And before we talk about some of the signs that we can all look out for, we want to talk about some of the reasons or causes why
Yeah.
people commit suicide.
Yes. For me, one is to hurt the other person.
Yeah, because you feel like sometimes you're not listening to me.
Yes.
You're not hearing what I am saying, so I'm going to
Yes.
do this. So now you have to pay
Tension.
attention.
Yes.
And you think, I'm going to hurt you by taking out myself. And we see this in relationship. If there's a break in a relationship, one person leave the other person, sometimes they go to commit suicide to hurt the other person because they felt hurt.
Yes. And what they don't realize, when they take themselves out, the other person go on existing and life is good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what you're actually doing is just,
Hurting yourself
you're
and
really hurting
your
yourself.
family.
And your family.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I've seen, yes, the person will feel hurt for a few months or so, but believe me, they go and they remarry and they are happy again.
Yes.
You understand? So you are not hurting that other person. You're hurting the people who really love you.
And then the children may grow up dysfunctional. And you're not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
And you go and not realizing you leave your children uncovered.
Yeah, yeah. And Katrina, a lot of young persons who also commit suicide, and the reason for this is because of bullying. And we have a lot of cyber bullying also happening right now.
Yeah.
With Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram. Well, they say Facebook is for older folks, but with Instagram and all these other social media devices and outlets, they have bullying.
Yeah.
They tell you about you're not pretty. You post your picture, people have all sorts of things to tell you.
Yeah, you're big and fat.
now you fight or you did something in school, it's all
Over.
over. And
Yes.
now you are feeling ashamed.
Shamed.
Other children calling you names.
Names.
And
Yes.
sometimes as parents, we miss the sign and we don't take notice. Our child come home, they go into
The
their room, they
room.
don't want to speak,
Speak.
and we need to find out. We need to even go on their social media
Media.
sites and
Yes.
check and see what is happening. Find out from them if you see any changes. Are you being bullied? This is serious.
Yes. Another reason is rejection. You know, sometimes a guy may meet a girl, he likes the girl, but the girl family just don't like him and we don't want you.
Yeah,
I can't live without this girl,
yeah,
and he decides I can't live without her. So I sometimes they even make a suicide pact
yeah,
and do it
yeah.
together when it doesn't. I mean, what is the gain in the end of it all?
What is again? And sometimes rejection is also with children when parents leave them. Their
Mm-hmm.
father abandoned them or their mother. And you are
Mm-hmm.
saying, if my parents who brought me into this world can abandon me or leave me, then
Mm-hmm. No
why
one else
live?
will stay.
That's right. And why
Yes.
live? And
Mm-hmm.
all of that happens with the feeling of rejection.
Yes, if some people even commit suicide because of grief,
Yeah.
because you had a loss
Yeah.
and you just cannot deal with the loss because you're dependent on that husband so
So
much
much. Oh,
or on
wife.
that wife, or it's your daughter, your one child, and
Yeah.
the child died, and you say, I can't live without my child. And you're not thinking, I have a wife,
Yeah.
or I
Our
have another
family.
child to live for,
I have purpose. I have purpose.
or I have to live for me.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
put here for something. And then you take yourself out of the way. So there are so many reasons
Yeah.
why people, and we sit back and say, but on Facebook, oh, you stupid. But
Yeah.
it's bigger than that.
It is, it is. And we have to be so careful with our words and we need to show empathy when we
Yes.
see these things happening because we might look and say things good in our house.
Yes.
But the old people have a saying when you're living in glass house, don't throw stones. You have to be
Yes.
so careful because
Careful.
you have a family and sometimes you're not sure what is really happening with each member.
Yes, and at the root, a lot of these things are depression.
Yeah.
You know, when things come your way and you reach that stage of depression where you really start to hear like voices saying,
Yeah.
boy, why you don't take it out, boy? It think too hard here. Time
Yeah.
to go, girl. It think too hard here. And after the voice comes enough,
You accept it and you think that is the
act it
way.
out.
Yeah, yeah. And these are some of the reasons. And Kathy, and shame also.
Yes.
Something happened in your family
Shame and
and,
scandal.
and
Shame and
yeah,
scandal in the
yeah,
family.
yeah. That could cost you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? This too shall pass.
Yes. We have to learn too that
Yeah.
they say shame lasts for 7 days. You say
Thank
that
you.
long time. You know, sometimes something happens and the heat of the moment,
Yeah.
it look like, oh God, my name will forever be sullied. And
Yeah.
oh gosh, I could never feel so bad. Just give it a few days.
Yeah.
People talk, they talk, they talk. You know why? They could bump their gum, they
For
could
so
talk
much.
for how
Yeah.
long?
Yeah. Yeah.
After a while, they forget you. And then you say, oh, what was I worrying about? God,
Yeah.
look, you have brought me through the shame.
Yeah, and sometimes after a while they stop talking because when another challenge hit their home,
Yes.
they realize, shh, I should have shut
Yes.
my mouth in the first
First
place.
place, yes.
You know? And Kathy, and another thing that causes people to commit suicide or want to hurt themselves is adjustment like retirement.
Yeah.
Especially some people have seen where they have been in charge, as we say, they are bosses and supervisors and they are accustomed giving orders and rules and telling you what to do and they're feeling they're on top of their world because they're in charge and when it's time to go home and that hit them they feel like they're nobody. Who am I? Who I'm going to give orders to? They have put their all in their career
Yes.
that they have no other life.
Yes.
So why live?
Yes, wow. And that is
So
so
why live?
sad. When I should be enjoying my retirement, I'll
Yeah.
take a trip on a cruise.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I was speaking to a man once and he was telling me, Ali, you know, I'm going to retire the next month. He said, I don't know what I will do with myself, what to do. I said, how you mean? You have a wife? He said, yes, what I'll do with my wife. Because I'm going to work every day. I'm coming home late in the night. I want another job. I don't know what I'll do without a job.
Well, I spoke to a friend who told me this guy had retired from the job, and every morning he'll come by outside the compound
And stand up.
and stand up.
Yeah.
He said,
yeah.
I need, what madness is this? Go home and
Yeah,
rest.
yeah.
But it's because of attachments.
Attachment and a feeling of redundancy that
Yes.
I'm no use.
Yes, no
I'm no
longer.
use, you know.
Yeah.
And no, there is life after. There
Yes.
is life, after. I cannot wait for retirement, to tell you the
I
truth, Kathy
hello. Yes.
So that, and here where planning comes into play, where one day at 60 I'm going to retire, so plan, because there's life after 60.
That's right. That's right. And another thing is long-term illness.
Yeah,
Sometimes you may get the doctor's report
yeah,
that you have a certain illness, and it's like, I can't live with this. Or
yeah,
you get a, I mean, I was watching YouTube recently and I saw where this guy committed suicide because 3 months after hearing he got bad news from the doctor and he got a stroke.
yeah,
And is like, he was very active before, and is like, I cannot survive with this.
yeah.
I cannot take this. So he killed himself.
Yeah. And Katina, as you spoke about documentary, I was watching one where there's a clinic in the States. So if you know you're fed up with life, or you're tired, if you had a long-term illness, or one that, one day you cannot take the pain anymore, and you're going to die from the illness, they invite you to come to the clinic and they plan your day out.
That's something else.
Yeah, yeah. They plan
Yeah.
that for you.
Yeah. Then there are also like gender identity issues.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
sometimes someone battling with, who am I? Who
Yeah.
am I? You know, I'm a boy, but I feel like a girl. I'm a girl, I
Yeah.
feel like a boy. And
Yeah.
there's this confusion of mind. And because it's sometimes according to where you live or your family.
The
Say, for
environment.
example, it's church.
Yeah.
You go up in church and you hear it, and in yourself you know you've always heard that it is wrong, but within yourself
There's a struggle.
there's a struggle. And then they say, but they will never accept me, they will never accept this, and the battle within. And what do?
Commit suicide, you hurt yourself. And Katya, and I want to say something here. For us as parents, especially believers, sometimes we say things in our home that we shouldn't say. We will talk about gay people, or people who have that feeling, like you said, they have gender issues. And our children who may be struggling with it, hearing us say things that we shouldn't say. Oh, not in my house, that won't happen in my house. Thank God, not my child. And sometimes it is your child, but your
Yeah.
child do not want to say anything
Yeah.
after what they heard, and here where they go hurt themselves and commit suicide. So I want to say to parents, be careful what you say in your home.
Yeah.
And your children are listening, because our children
Yes.
have struggles
Yes. Many struggles in many areas.
in many areas.
Yes.
While it may
You'd be
not
surprised, eh?
it may not be gender issues,
Yes.
but it's another struggle.
Yes.
And according to what we let come out of our mouth in our
Yes.
homes, our children are battling, and they will not come to us for rescue.
That's right. That's right. Because they
So
know
be
what they're going to
careful.
get when
They
they
know
come.
what they're going to get.
Yeah.
So let us be careful with gender issues and other issues.
Yeah.
What we say in our home, and keep an eye out for our children.
Yeah, some people even go through financial issues, and they feel like they're so deep down in the well that they wouldn't be able to come out, and it will cause shame to the family.
Yeah.
Or how would we be able to make it? I'm backed up. The bank is going to take the house, and what will happen here? And they think about, I can't deal with this.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
really, Arlene, I'm sure there must be a way.
There must be a way out. There must be a way out, And if God had given you the ability and the know-how to get the first home, He will give you the same ability to either keep the home or get another one. There's, as long as you are breathing, there is hope.
Hope, yes. And sometimes in life we have to learn to step back before we can step forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're overwhelmed with something. I'm using an example. You have a big house, super huge, and you may lose it. But if you can, it can be sold, and you go somewhere smaller, something cheaper.
Yeah.
For the while. But some people don't want to lose where they are, the status. They feel I've gained so much ground. Sometimes you have to step back to go forward again.
Yeah.
Something else, huh?
Yeah. And life is worth living.
Yeah.
In the midst of all the challenges and crises and heartaches, life is worth living. And if we can just get that help, if you could just reach out to someone who will say, I have your back. I'm there
Yes.
with you.
Yeah.
I run in the race with you.
Yeah.
In the midst of your heartache, I am
Yes.
there. Yes, he doesn't love you anymore, but Katian, your pretty girl, you're going to find somebody else.
Yeah.
And everybody need that person.
Yes. Andy, when you check Trinidad and Tobago, the suicide rate has been growing.
Increasing every year.
Yeah.
And we did a research and we got these stats for you, because Kathy, when we listen to the figure, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
In 2019, 92 persons committed suicide. In 2020, 104. And in 2021, 128
Big
persons.
jump.
That is a lot of people.
Yes. I would sometimes you hardly hear how much, so you would say maybe 12 people for the year.
Yeah.
Not knowing it's 128 persons felt hopeless enough, and there were some who maybe did it, but they survived.
Yeah.
But these are the ones
Died.
who were
Yeah.
successful
At the act. Yeah.
in such a discouraging thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but what we learn to also that it's more men.
More men.
And why you think?
And that is because men do not want to show that they are hurting because they think it will look like they are weak.
Yeah.
And society, we say that men are the stronger one.
Yeah. We don't give them room sometimes to be weak.
We're not giving them room to cry,
Yes.
to show their emotions.
Yes.
Because they are human.
Yeah. And they're not like us, When we're going through things, I call Arlene, and I start to tell you my story.
Yes.
Yeah. I start to tell you my story. But when you think about it, men, they do not talk.
No, they don't.
They would just
Keep it in.
keep it in.
Yeah.
And they're just acting out a certain way, but they're not talking.
No. And you see, Kathy, and like you said, we will call each other and
Yeah.
we will talk and we will say this happened and that happened, we get it out.
Yeah.
But the man, it's really hard being a man, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because you have your family, you want to take care of your wife, you want to take care of your children, you want to make sure they have a roof over their head, you want to make sure the car is working well for when your
Yeah.
wife is going out. You want to make sure there's money in the bank. There's so much things that is going through a man's head.
Yeah.
And sometimes he won't tell you.
Yeah, so true. Yes.
And but he's thinking it. And then too, sometimes they say how we as women we can add salt to injury. Although salt's supposed to help heal, but this type of salt
can
doesn't.
burn.
Yes, burn because
Yes.
we are seeing our husband and he is trying. Oh man, your brother.
Yeah.
Give them a word of encouragement instead of
yes.
saying he's no good.
Yes.
So long I'm waiting for you to build this house is half concrete, half wood.
Yes.
Don't say those things because in
Yes.
himself he's fighting. He wants to
Yes.
prove himself
Yes.
that I am a man.
Yes.
And when you take that away from him,
Yeah.
he feels useless.
Yes.
Like there is no hope for me.
Yes.
And that is how Kathy and they said more men than women commit
Yeah,
suicide.
continues to feel insufficient.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Not up to scratch.
Yeah.
And overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And there's one. To them, they think it's only one way out.
Yeah.
When we know there are many ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
God,
Kathy, and
God is the way maker.
Society have really made us feel that men do not hurt,
Yes.
that everything you say to them, they will just bounce back. They are men. But they do hurt emotionally,
Yes,
Kathy.
they're vulnerable like
Yes,
anybody
but
else.
yes.
Sometimes like a child. I want to tell you something I've noticed. Compliment your husband
Yeah.
and see how he lights up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So do the opposite and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's not only a husband, it could happen to a child,
Have
because
your male son, because we're
Yes.
talking about male here.
Yes.
Your male son, your male cousin. You know how Kathy would take time and call her cousins, her male, and tell them, I'm so proud of you. You start a business. You are the one who will push our family forward and different things. And those things are encouragement.
encouraging. They are.
And you could, like you said, you can see it encouraging man to take another step.
Yes.
Now they feel like instead of taking baby step, they want to jump and leap. So let us encourage our men and let them know you see a man, a young man doing well, say it.
Yes, and even if he's not doing well,
Speak wellness.
speak life and
Yeah,
encourage him.
Yeah.
I heard this saying, when you see someone, see them as a 10,
Yeah.
although they're looking like a 4. But see them as a 10, because if you see them as a 10, you will treat them differently.
Yeah.
You will speak with them differently.
Yeah.
You will act around them differently.
Yeah.
So it's important how we perceive something is how we will treat with it.
Yeah, because there's a king in the shepherd boy.
Amen.
Amen.
That's a good
Amen.
one.
Yes.
There's a king in the shepherd boy. Yes.
So treat them as king.
Yes. So we want to share some warning signs.
Yeah. Like you were saying, you did know. So we want to encourage people to read up and listen to Azar
Yes.
as we share some of these signs.
Yeah.
And one of these signs, Kathy, is that they stop speaking and they go into withdrawal.
Wow, that was a big one because that was what was happening with my brother. Another thing he did was he used to go in the cemetery and sit down on tombstone and by himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, they call us and tell us, but it still did not,
Click that, yeah.
we
Yeah.
still did not click. And we
Yeah.
don't click when it's our own.
Yeah, yeah, because you're not thinking that at all.
You're not thinking.
It's the furthest thing from your mind,
Yeah.
Cathy. And according to you hearing that he's going in a cemetery to sit on a tombstone by himself, all those are signs.
Yes.
And you know, one of the signs too, they will do destructive thing. Like they were
Yes.
saying that they will drive recklessly.
Yes.
Or go on a cliff.
Yes.
Do things, God find the sea. Like if they're testing to see how far they can go.
Yes.
So these things we have to look at.
Yes.
With our family and friends.
Yes. We have to look at something. I mean, negative talk. Just negative.
Yeah.
Just negative.
Why am I here?
Yes.
Nobody don't like me?
Yes. I remember one day one brother said, God will hear prayers, no? God will hear prayers. And that same brother who killed himself said, boy, that is true. That is true, boy. That is true. God will hear in my prayers now. And he was so negative.
Yeah.
From being a positive person,
Yeah.
he was so negative that day. And that's another thing. I didn't pick up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something else, huh?
Yeah, there are signs, and sometimes they are mood swing. They are happy today,
Yeah.
and then they go to deep depression.
Yeah.
You know, and you want to know, but just yesterday I met you and you were on top of the world.
Yeah.
What's and today you're singing a different song, mood swings, and we have to look out and say, you know what, something wrong here. It's
Yeah.
more than what it looks like.
Yes, yes.
It's more than what it looks like.
And some people start to give away their belongings.
Yeah.
If you come, you give me my, yeah, you like to collect sneakers, and you come and you give me one, then you give my big brother one,
Yeah.
then you hand somebody your favorite bag.
Yeah.
Man, you like them thing too much. Why you giving it away?
Yeah.
Think.
And sometimes we look at it and we just say,
He
no,
can't buy.
Yeah, he giving away
He plays
stuff.
Santa Claus
We
these
just
days.
we just happy. And then you see they start to put the business in order, as we say.
Yes.
They're calling and making sure this paid, that
Pay
paid.
that. Mm-hmm.
My money put away.
Yes.
They say, child, I carrying you by the banker because remember I put everything on your name. They call you and say, remember where I had a little money hiding it? All these things.
Yes. And here's one that some people will definitely miss. They're overly happy.
Yeah.
Overly happy. And it's like, how you catching a glad so?
Yeah.
And people not understanding. Or it's like a cover.
Yeah.
It's like a cover because in your mind you already know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You know.
But Cathy, how can we help?
Yeah, girl, so much. And we're only talking about a few, eh?
Yeah.
There are plenty other signs. But we just want to make us aware.
Bring
that
awareness.
once you see there is a change in the normal routine and something about the person is different, try to find out. Arlene, talk.
And this is one of the way we can help. Talking to the person, find out.
Yes.
Find out. Let me hear more. What are you thinking? What is in your? You want to find out what is in their head, as we say. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Check their thought patterns and you listen. You ask them questions too. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yes.
Do you feel like hurting yourself?
Yeah, I didn't ask anything.
Yeah. You're tired of living? Ask. It does. Those questions will not send the person to commit suicide. As a matter of fact, those questions will help rescue the person because they are able to speak and say what they are thinking.
Yes.
And you now will know what to do. Call for help.
Help, yes. Get professional help.
That's right.
When
we
they
have
reach
911.
when they reach
That's
that
right.
stage, don't feel his little counseling.
No.
Boy, don't do that now.
No.
Boy, don't do that now. No, it's more than that. Put something. This is deep.
Yeah.
And we need to get professional help. There are so many lines that we could call.
Yeah. Yeah, and we will put it on our screen so you can call. And also find out when speaking to the person if they are by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are, call somebody. If you realize you are too far to reach in time, get somebody to go by that person to just be with them until you reach or until you get help.
Yeah.
for that
Yes,
person.
and sensitize the rest of the family.
Yeah.
You all, something is up here. Something is up with our relative. You all keep your eyes open. You
Yeah.
all call them, check on them, let them know that
Yeah.
you're there for them. Let's do this together.
Let's do this
In the
together.
meantime,
Yeah.
because you'll go by a counselor for counseling, you put them onto a professional, but they still come home after the.
That's right.
So they
So the
need to be
family need to know. Yeah, it's
surrounded.
not a secret.
It's not a secret.
Let
Don't
the
keep it a
yeah,
secret.
let the family know so we know what we are working with and how to work it and have a plan. And don't when somebody tell you they feel like hurting themselves or killing themselves, don't judge them.
Yes.
Just be there for them.
Yes.
Speak and encourage them.
Yes.
And like we say, get help. Call a pastor, call
Yes.
the hotlines, call your priest,
Yes.
and let us get help for this person because Katya, and there is hope.
There is hope.
There is
Don't
hope.
ever say, what's tripping? They telling me.
Yeah.
You're adding insult to
Yeah,
injury.
yeah. But go home and drink something and catch
yeah,
yourself, eh?
yes.
Don't say those things.
Yeah, some people say, well, if you're so tripping, go and kill yourself now.
Yeah.
We have to really think,
And be
be
sensitive.
compassionate
Yeah.
in a situation like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
we just wanted to touch on this topic a little bit, Kathy, and we
Yes.
hope what we have shared so far have brought awareness
Yes.
to family, to friends.
Yes.
And we want to have a part 2 to this episode where we bring in a professional to talk a little more about it.
That's right.
So that we can even learn some more.
More, yes, because we are really talking about
Our
experience, having faced it,
Yeah.
on 3 occasions, and what we have seen,
Yeah.
But for those who have lost loved ones through this, we stand with you.
Yeah, we do.
We stand with you, with your loss.
Yeah.
And for those who may have families going through depression, we want you to encourage you to be there for them and even get help for them.
Yeah.
In the
yeah,
meantime,
yeah.
agree?
And for those who went through it, it is not too late to reach out for counseling if you have not done so as yet.
Yes.
For you and your entire family.
Yes.
You can call us and we can connect you with
Yes.
someone. So we want to thank our
Azar
family for
yes.
tuning in.
Yes.
And we want to encourage you to share this episode because it's going to help somebody.
Yeah, and Aline, I want to say one last line. Where there is life,
There is hope.
there is hope.
There is hope.
Amen?
And God is your help.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, He
amen.
is. So,
We bless God for everyone here this evening. We pray that this message will go far and wide. If you know someone who's dealing with depression or a family who has been faced with anything like this, please share this episode with them. So we love you guys.
bye.
God bless you. Bye.